I grew up on a 100-acre farm in southern Ontario. That's not actually my farm, but it looked a lot like that. My mom always said I was a climber right away. When I was 4 years old, she caught me 60 feet up in a cedar tree, and we were home alone. My father was at work, and she must have had a heart attack, but I think I just liked the view. Then around 14, my mom and dad took me to Lake Louise and Sunshine Village on a ski trip. And I saw these mountains, and I was like, why are we living in Ontario? And so I remember my dad telling me, he said, you can't, it's probably the best advice I've ever gotten. He said, you can't rely on other people to get you where you want to go. You got to buy your own car. You got to get a job, buy a car so you can afford to go to these places. I needed to take control of my own life. I bought this vehicle and I lived in it. I lived in the back. I think my dad wasn't expecting that part. I saw people who were doing the things that I wanted to do. There was people there who were traveling the world and climbing these amazing places that I dreamt about because I just absorbed all this. This is before the internet. There was for me as a teenager, it was all magazines. And so I would read everyone cover to cover. And the trade show was where I realized that people were truly living this lifestyle where they would, commit to climbing, and they were traveling all over the place and living out of their vehicles. And I was like, man, this is definitely like my tribe. I was onto something, even though it didn't work out for quite a few years. People often ask me, was professional climbing like a decision? Did you set out to be a professional climber? And it's not. Wasn't really like that. It was just that I loved climbing so much that I had to do it all the time.
Worst thing about living in a van?
The worst thing? Oh my gosh, there isn't one. It doesn't exist. It does not exist. The worst thing, you got me. It's like bliss all the time.